Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fazio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. I'm Julius.
And I'm Hale. And today, we're going somewhere personal.
We're talking about being alone, not as a punishment, not as a symptom, but as a choice, and what that choice is actually doing to your body, your brain, and your life.
Because here's the thing, the science on this is genuinely wild, like contradictory in ways that should make every one of us stop and rethink how we talk about solitude.
Let me paint a picture. It's a Tuesday evening. You cancel plans. You tell yourself you need a night in. You make dinner, put on something you actually want to watch, and for a few hours, nobody needs anything from you.
That sounds really good, actually.
Right? But here's what's happening in your head at the same time. A little voice. You should have gone. You're isolating yourself. Is this healthy?
And that voice, turns out, it might be more dangerous than the solitude itself.
Let's go to the research. The University of Michigan just published a study, and what they found flipped the loneliness conversation on its head. They tracked how people felt after spending time alone, and what they discovered is that it wasn't the alone time that made people lonelier. It was what people believed about being alone.
Wait, so your mindset going into solitude determines the outcome?
Exactly. People with negative beliefs about being alone. This is bad. This means I'm failing socially. They came out of solo time feeling significantly lonelier. Meanwhile, people who frame solitude as a positive, they came out restored, less stressed, more themselves.
So the media narrative, all those loneliness epidemic headlines, might actually be making people lonelier by teaching them to fear being alone.
That's exactly what the Michigan researchers are saying. Well-intentioned warnings about isolation may be backfiring. They're training us to panic every time we're by ourselves.
So the cure for loneliness might be stop reading articles about loneliness?
Partially, yeah. But here's where it gets darker. Because the WHO dropped a report in 2025 that should have been front-page news everywhere.
Hit me.
Loneliness, actual, unwanted, painful loneliness, is now linked to 871,000 deaths every year. That's over 100 people dying every single hour from loneliness-related causes. Cardiovascular disease, stroke, cognitive decline. The UN called it a global health emergency.
100 people an hour. I don't have a joke for that.
You shouldn't. And to put it in context, that's more deadly than obesity. The Surgeon General of the United States compared the health risk of loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15. Every day.
So we've got two completely different things happening simultaneously. Chosen solitude, restorative, healthy, potentially life-extending, and forced loneliness, literally killing people at the rate of a natural disaster.
And we're using the same word for both. That's the paradox. Alone doesn't mean lonely, but our culture, our language, keeps collapsing those two things into one.
And I wonder, how many people are out there avoiding healthy solitude because they're terrified of becoming that, the sad, isolated person, when actually the alone time they're running from might be exactly what they need.
Research shows that solitude lowers stress hormones, reduces emotional reactivity, and gives people, especially introverts, the cognitive bandwidth to actually process their lives, not escape from them.
There's something almost countercultural about that right now. Like, we're in this era of relentless social performance. every moment documented, every feeling shared. The algorithm rewards the person who never seems to need space.
And yet, the people who protect their solitude, who close the door, who don't respond immediately, who take a walk without their phone, those people are consistently reporting higher emotional resilience, better creativity, and lower baseline anxiety.
So what's the line? How do you know if your alone time is solitude, the good kind, or isolation, the dangerous kind?
Researchers keep coming back to one word: choice. Solitude is something you move toward. Isolation is something that closes in on you. The same empty apartment on a Friday night can be either one, depending on whether you chose it.
And whether you believe it's okay to be there.
That's the whole thing. This isn't really a story about being alone. It's a story about permission. Who told you that needing space makes you broken? Because the science says the opposite. It says you might be one of the people who actually knows how to take care of yourself.
But then there's the 871,000. The people who didn't choose this. The elderly man who hasn't spoken to anyone in 5 days. The teenager who is surrounded by people and still feels invisible. Those aren't people who need to reframe their mindset. They need someone to show up.
And that tension is real. We can hold both. Protect your solitude and check on the people around you. They're not contradictions. They're the same ethic.
Julius always finds the synthesis.
It's my thing. All right, your move.
Okay, real talk, your move time. First one, and this is uncomfortable. Pay attention this week to how you talk about being alone. When you cancel plans, when you take a solo lunch, when you need a quiet night, do you apologize for it? Do you feel guilty? That guilt isn't protecting you. It's making you lonelier.
Second move. There's someone in your life right now who hasn't reached out in a while. Not because they're fine, because they've stopped expecting anyone to check in. Send one message, not a group text, a real one. You might be the only person who does this week.
That one lands.
Third, and this is the philosophical one. Ask yourself honestly, when you're alone, are you with yourself or hiding from yourself? Because those feel identical on the outside, but one restores you and one erodes you. Only you know which one it is.
Yeah, sit with that one for a minute.
Thanks for listening to the Reflect podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
And hey, if you listen to this alone, you made a great choice. See you next drop.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.